Just as a quick addendum to that last video, I did want to show you a couple of things I've done to make the ship look a little bit clearer here if you're also having some issues. So what's actually happening is a lot of the properties of metal come from what it reflects. And since we're out in the middle of nowhere and there's not a lot of things for it to reflect, it's coming off as very dark. There's a couple of things I've done to help mine. One is I've added another light that's kind of big but not super bright, that's pointing at the ship here. It doesn't, you don't have to do that part actually. If you delete it, you can see sort of the difference, but I think it's helping mine a little bit. So I'm going to go ahead and keep mine in there to kind of give me some glare around there. There's a couple of other things you can do. So if we want to pull back on some of the metalness, if we select the ship material here, and go ship matte. So the metalness attribute here, we can't really change it, right? Unless we go back into substance. But one of the things we can do is play around with the exposure of the entire material. And if I start doing that, if I start pulling this back, you'll see it brightens up the rest of the ship. So I could even like delete that if I wanted to and just use this exposure and turning it down on the metalness. And basically what that's doing is everywhere where it would be completely black is now dimming that a little bit, right? Or completely white is now dimming that a little bit. I'm probably going to use a mixture of the two. There's one more I would show you that's kind of a neat option. If you're wanting, because I really don't feel like I need to mess with the exposure too much on mine. But what's happening is the edge of my ship is getting lost here a little bit. And there's a couple of ways we can put a rim light on this. But one of the ones that I would probably try first is just going into the ship material and either playing with the coat and sheen. So if I turn up sheen, I get a little bit more information in the material. The same with coat, right? So I can play with those. But what I'm going to do instead is convert mine to open PBR. And it changed what it looked like in the viewport, but not really in the render so much, because there is an attribute in an open PBR called fuzz. And I really like what it does. It adds like sort of a halo around the entire thing. And you can play around with how much of that fuzz you have, right? So it still stays looking metallic, but it gives me a pretty nice little outline around it. And so I'm really liking how that looks. So that's probably what I'm going to be going for on mine.